Andy Gresh, part of our New England Nation crew, in as always every Wednesday night to break down the upcoming week matchup. And this week, another team that has a similar record to the Patriots. Both teams, the Browns and the Pats, come in at 5-4. Two teams jockeying for playoff positioning, Gresh. But before we talk about that, we must talk about topic du jour and Odell Beckham Jr.
Yes.
You told me Sunday you didn't think he would be a part of the Patriots. We've seen conflicting reports all over the place. Do you still hold firm on that?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to end up here. Now, I got to say, it's getting a heck of a lot closer than I thought it was going to get in terms of the Patriots having a chance at OBJ. You know, there was the rumblings that maybe Seattle was going to claim him on waivers, but basically it doesn't come down to money because Odell Beckham's owed $4.25 million from the Cleveland Browns, regardless of what he gets in his next job. It's just an offset. So money isn't a real factor here. Now it's truly coming down to choice for this guy. And is he going to go to Green Bay to play for a title, New Orleans to go home, or to come here because he has an odd fascination with Bill Belichick?
Has the three-game winning streak maybe put the Patriots in better position than they were a month ago?
Well, if it were pure spite and malice, this would be the place to come to because there is that, hey, I'm going to go win with that guy, but also, oh, they play the Browns this week, so I could stick it to my old team. But I do think there is something there. I mean, Odell Beckham is such a weird cat to try to figure out to begin with. I don't trust him. I do worry about a bit of a Kyrie effect, even short term. Like we're now starting to see with Jason Tatum, a little bit of stuff that we're like, okay, what is going on here? Was he really infected long term by the mindset of Kyrie Irving? That's what I don't want on Mac Jones through Odell Beckham. And I wish I could trust the player to not come in and be a PETA.
One place OBJ will not be going, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bruce Arians shooting that down on Wednesday.
What a great line.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about the game. Your keys to a Patriots victory.
Well, number one, somebody's got to win the running game. So both teams, whether it's Nick Chubb on the other side for Cleveland or Damian Harris or Ramondre Stevenson who are down, somebody's got to win the run game. And if it's the Patriots, it helps them win the game. The other thing is you got to keep pressuring Baker Mayfield. The Pittsburgh Steelers got after him and really roughed him up a little bit. We know he's got the bad shoulder, tons of pressure on Mayfield. And then finally, Cleveland is not great in the red area. So this is, to me, is where the Patriots defense can get a win, give up all those yards between the 20s you want, but really clamp them down. I think it's 17 touchdowns on 31 attempts, which is around 54, 55, 56% for Cleveland, which is not great for a team that actually has weapons.
Patriots have really started to own that time of possession game during this winning streak over the last few weeks. Okay, looking at the defense from Cleveland, they have two great names out there on the line in Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett. Other than them, they have some good young pieces on the back end. What do they do well in order to be a top 5 defense in the league?
Well, look, they really ride Myles Garrett. And not to shift away from your point, which is they do have some good young players and some good linebackers. But Myles Garrett, I looked it up today. I mean, he's got like 12 quarterback hits and stuff like that. It's just insane the amount that he gets to the quarterback. And look, over the years, Morey, we have seen J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones and all these pass rushers that the Patriots have got to be worried about, and they find a way to slow them down. There isn't anybody else on the Cleveland defense you worry about as much as Myles Garrett. So if you take care of him, Max should be able to get the ball out quick, which will then compromise that secondary a little bit more. If they can't get the pressure they're used to through Myles Garrett, I don't think that secondary is that good.
Similar game plan to maybe the Bucs week 4 that we saw. Get the ball out quick. Over the middle of the field, maybe use the screen game a little bit?
Yeah, I think you have to because you just don't know what you're going to get from the running backs. And, you know, also having some Jimmies and Joes to play with as well. I mean, we might be talking about a heavy dose of Brandon Bolden in this game because there may be no one else to go to. And by the way, Cleveland with Dearness Johnson, that guy was standing outside of the stadium years ago saying, hey, I just want to try out. I'll work for food. And now look at him. He might be starting against the New England Patriots in Gillette Stadium. So the running back spots for both teams are critical mass right now, and that's going to impact the game massively.
Brandon Bolden is no James White, but he has really filled that role as best that he can.
Yeah, he's been really good this year.
Yeah, Patriots 1.5-point favorites as of right now at the time of this taping. It might expand a little bit if Nick Chubb doesn't play and is ruled out. Do you still see the Patriots winning regardless of if he plays or not?
Yeah, I do. I think the Patriots win 31-21, Morey, because they're catching Cleveland at the right time. I know that Cleveland has been up and down a little bit. They're getting rid of Beckham. They had a little success last week, but they got COVID issues. They got injury issues. I'm not sold on Baker Mayfield the way other people are. I think the Patriots are catching him in the perfect spot. In Cleveland, I'd be worried about a close win. Here, I think it's 31-21 Patriots win.
That would be the Patriots' 4th straight win, and they would be riding into Thursday's game against the Falcons. He's Andy Gresh. I'm Morey Hershgordon. We'll be back after this on the Sports Wrap.